Yes, we are live. Welcome, friends. Welcome to, oh my gosh, the VA Brunch Club. If you don't know who we are, so we are live here in VA Savvy's group. We are also in YouTube. We're also on our Facebook page, and we are also live for Savvy Vault inside the Savvy Vault membership. So we will introduce ourselves here in a second, but this is a very special new.
So special.
Yeah, it's a very special new sort of format we're doing here at TBS. So
And
if you don't know us yet,
today is a special day because it is the Valentine's episode of the VA Brunch Club.
it's so good.
The gal-entines episode with everyone's favorite gal-entine, Chachi Diaz.
That's what they say about me all the time. Girl talk.
I added these graphics. Do you like them?
They're great.
That one by you says gal pal.
Hey, I'm down. I'm with it. I'm okay. I am good with that.
Hey, looks like people are joining us. If you can see us and hear us, leave a comment. And if you would like to give StreamYard permission when we pull you up, we can see your face, your beautiful face, and your name, and that makes it a lot more fun. We've got, hi, Erica. Happy Valentine's Day, Jenny. Oh, it looks like Rachel noticed something different in your background. You want to tell them what's going on there?
Yes. So this is my new gallery wall. You can't see all of it, but there's even more. And it was designed by Katie Day.
I designed it.
It was very cool, very fun to work on, and it was great.
Yes, but you made a lot of the prints. Well done. See this one, Facebook user, loud and clear. If you want to go ahead and give StreamYard permission, we can show you off, and we would love that. All you have to do is go into the StreamYard Facebook page and push yes, pretty much. It's like 2 steps, and then come rejoin us. Alicia loves the background. Hi, Lynn.
Welcome.
Happy Valentine's Day to you too, Hazel.
Ooh, that's a
we are
beautiful name.
So happy you are here. So let's get into it. Let's talk about who we are, because we are new to some of these people.
And so you will see Abby still here. You will see Abby still here in the VA Savvy's group, but we will also be joining on the second Tuesday of the month.
We are every second Tuesday. We're bringing VA Brunch Club to you guys. Now we are your Savvy Vault sidekicks. So if anyone's in there in the vault, holler in the comments. But we got Chachi Diaz, who is his Savvy Vault quiz result is the expert. If you don't know your quiz results, you can go to what is it? virtualsavvy.com/quiz and discover your unique VA personality type. And I'm Katie. I'm your resident creative. So holler if you know your type, and I'm going to know if we have the same one.
Yeah. It's a really cool quiz. You might get one that you didn't know about, or you can always cross over. There's so many different ways that you can go about figuring out who you are, your VA personality.
Brunch Club, let's go. I hear you, Jessica.
Let's go.
So real quick, who we are. I am your go-to brand girl. If you guys have any branding questions about starting your VA business, or for what to name it, your brand boards, and your Savvy System student, you literally can submit to me any questions and I will answer them. And then we got Chachi Diaz, who literally knows everything.
I know everything
about tech.
I was going to say about everything, but
about life,
about anything, dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I know everything.
If you guys, let me just give you an example. If your funnel breaks that you're building for a client, Chachi can help you with that. If you aren't sure what intermittent fasting is like, he can answer science questions about that. If today is Valentine's Day, it is, and you're in a early relationship with someone and you're like, hey, what do I text them? I don't want to come too strong. Chachi can craft a text for you.
To break up with them. I could do it.
Emotionally intelligent text on how to navigate tricky relationships. So any of that can be submitted via text form if you are one of our students. Rachel has a new question about her website. Will you answer that?
So Rachel's
I'm sensing some passive aggression.
Yeah, there is some passive aggressiveness. Yeah, there definitely is. Rachel, I'll get back to you. So here at the VA Brunch Club, here's what today is going to be looking like. We're going to do Misplaced Passions really quickly after this. Katie's going to give us a mindset mimosa, which is basically just a mindset tip, if you will. And then we're going to go right into the niche quiche, which is today is going to be all about self-love. And I'm going to literally interview Katie Day because she's great at this. I'm really excited about it. And then we're going to go to what to tech.
I don't know how I feel about Katie is great at self-love. She loves herself.
She loves herself
so much.
So good at loving herself. No, it's very specific, and everybody will understand what I mean by that
Okay.
today.
Okay.
So
Okay.
here is exactly what I just said. Self-love as an entrepreneur. And then we'll play a game at the very end. If you want to stick around for that, we like to have a good time. So if you want to turn us on, leave us on, go ahead and put us in the background of whatever you're doing, because we're going to have a great time here. So, but before we get into all of that,
I know
we
this is a big deal. This is a big deal.
We have chosen our winner for our $250 giveaway.
Let's just next slide. Let's dwell on this for a second, because if
Okay.
you don't know, and you're gonna be bummed that you missed it, we heard no one really likes Valentine's Day, so we just changed it. We just cut the LENTINES, and it's
Mhm.
Happy VA Day. And we decided to give one lucky winner coffee for a year. So a $250 Starbucks coffee. And everyone has been entering. It's gone really, really well. We had like over 5,000 people enter. What I did find was funny is we've been running ads for this, and we've gotten like a lot of really
People
interesting.
don't like free coffee, I don't think.
We've gotten a lot of really interesting ad comments. Like one person did the math and was like, that is not a year. No, that is 11 weeks short. If I order my order once a week, I will be 11 weeks short. And we're like, I'm really sorry. Like,
Karen,
I'm just
Karen.
trying to give you free coffee.
Oat milk's expensive. Okay. Inflation in 2000, your oat milk is expensive. That lavender syrup does not belong in your coffee.
Skip the lavender syrup and you'd be fine.
Jeez.
Yes. So, Shaylee, my best friend is listening. My other podcast host. I see your face. Thank you. You did it. You can relax now and just enjoy.
Shaylee.
Welcome, Shaylee. I wonder if there's a rivalry between you and Shaylee, because Shaylee and I also host a show together.
I will
fight to the death.
Yes.
Great. Perfect.
Okay.
Send us all the coffee. Okay. So we have made this suspense long enough. Drum roll, please.
All right. You want to announce it?
No, you do it in your voiceover mode.
Welcome.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
And the winner is Megan Bowman. I hope I pronounced your name right. It looks like a Bowman, so we should be good. So Megan, if you were watching, you can send us an email at hello@thevirtualsavvy.com. We'll be reaching out to you as well, sending you an email, letting you know that you have won $250
of Starbucks.
Almost 1,000. Right. That would have not been good. Like, oh, he said 250,000. So I'm gonna have to do that. So congratulations, Megan. If you are not here with us, that is totally cool. You're not to be present to win. We will send you that email or reach out to us.
Also, I just wanted you to know that I'm enjoying this subplot. Shaylee's coming for you, Chachi.
Well,
so that's fun. That's just fun that that's running in the background during this self-love talk.
Beautiful. All right, should we get into this?
Yes, but next slide. No, that's the past slide.
Oh, that's the past slide. I'm good at this. Oh, we must toast.
We always start with a toast, and not just a toast, because this is a brunch theme. We like to raise an avocado toast to each other,
because we are millennials,
to you guys. And I have said, this is like our 10th brunch club. Yep. I have said 10 separate times, I'm going to have a mimosa one of these days.
Today's the day. I also am having a mimosa.
Are you?
Check this out.
Are you serious? No way. Okay. So since it's Valentine's Day, I feel like today is the day. And I got my new speaker, so let's see if I can pop this on there.
Snap. You're actually going to do it?
I'm going to do it. Where am I?
There goes the camera.
Okay.
It's all right. We'll stick around.
What if it doesn't make a sound?
Is it a twist off?
Listen.
Is it a twist?
Hang on. Pop.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see if we can hear the bubbles mixing. Can you hear that?
Oh my God. It's like ASMR.
Yes. Beautiful. Okay. So we want all of you to also raise your glass. Okay, I can't even handle the rivalry that's coming on in the background. So now Rachel, who we work with, is going to start a show with Shaylee.
What a subplot.
And they're going to call it Lunch Ladies.
Oh my God.
I'm here for all of this. Okay. Cheers to, I'm going to start with you. Cheers to my gal-entine, Chachi Diaz.
Appreciate that.
Thank you for all of the, support and help and all the things. Cheers to you guys watching. Solopreneurship can be lonely. But it doesn't have to be lonely.
Sure.
If you want to find business besties and lean on the community. And we are so glad you're here. Cheers to you.
Oh, that was really nice.
Thank you. I'm going to sip this.
I'm
going to get toasted.
Yeah. Let's get all the saliva sounds into that big mic.
Okay. So that's done.
That stuff.
Now, Chachi's going to hit us with this misplaced passion. If this is your first time tuning in, I want to explain what a misplaced passion is. Chachi has a lot of passion.
Oh, hold on. I love this. I have to show this. Dink it and sink it. I
Okay.
love that.
Okay.
That's so good.
Okay.
Okay. You go.
Unfortunately, his passion is almost useless.
Not good.
He puts it in places that don't matter
Yeah.
whatsoever. And
Yeah.
some people would even call it like venting,
It could
ranting,
be. It could be.
getting very worked up over things that shouldn't be worked up over at all. If he could channel it into
You guys
something
wait. Oh,
useful,
wait.
then he could change the world. But he doesn't care about anything useful.
But here I am.
So what is our misplaced passion today?
Okay. All right. Please don't come for me, people. Here's what I think. Small children giving each other Valentines is a little weird. And here's why I think it's a little weird. We're forcing our children to tell each other that they love each other.
It's like romantic cards.
It is.
It's like
love
there's
with
like
my
a
whole heart.
narwhal. Yeah, there's a narwhal, and it's like I love narwhal and else but you.
Yeah.
Like, why are you saying that?
It's a little weird, right? And I think it's like the gateway drug to like people pleasing for the rest of your life, right? So here was grade school is like fifth grade, 5 years of forced Valentines to each other, right? So it started out with Valentines, and here I am walking around just like, hey, if you don't mind, people, or like, hey, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Did it hurt your feelings? Here I am, people pleasing 30 years later.
Yes.
And
you learned it then.
I learned it then.
Not to mention, imagine you're the recipient and you have a crush on the one giving it to you.
Oh gosh.
And you're like, oh, what is this? This one's kind of got like a romantic, but then you look and you realize it was a 6-pack.
It was a 6-pack, and Dylan got one too. Dylan doesn't love you like I love you. Will Dylan sharpen your pencil? Is Dylan going to share his milk? I don't think so.
Did Dylan fold the notes 16 extra times the way I did? No.
He did not.
When I played MASH, I landed on Ryan, not Dylan. Okay. Man. I know. I did one time, full confession, then we can move on from this. One time I did decide to use my Valentine as like a real vulnerable. I was going to tell Brian that I liked him. And so then I wrote on it, I like you.
Oh man. Oh, you came off strong.
Well, then I asked my mom, I said, do you think that he's going to get it? And she's like, well, he might just think you like him as a friend. And I was like, okay, I'll write a lot. I wrote, I like you.
I'm so glad you clarified.
A lot.
I'm sure that did it for him. Mm-hmm. What grade was this again?
This was like 3rd grade.
Okay.
Yeah. And we've been together ever since. Brian, come on out.
I married Brian. Jared's like, what? Who's Brian?
Yeah.
I don't know. She didn't marry Brian. She married Jared.
Yeah, it's true.
So, but yeah, Brian, if you're watching, eat your heart out, buddy.
He busted these out earlier.
So nice.
That's so nice.
So nice. And I was just over here third wheeling. It's like they were having a moment. I was like, oh, well, hi, Jared. Thanks.
Oh, look at Alex playing with the do you like me? Circle yes or no. And Sarah says, I like you a lot, Katie Day. You guys, I feel great. I feel good about this.
I like
feeling the love.
I like you guys too, guys. Cool. All right. So that's our misplaced passion. We'll do those every month. And I have a lot of them. I actually have unlimited, and I find new ones every day.
It really does.
So thanks for coming along for that ride. So give us something a little bit more positive in our mindset mimosa. Katie, take us away.
This is the first time I've had a mimosa while doing the mindset mimosa. So what we're going to do here is just a little sip. You just take a little sip of the mimosa, just a little moment to clear your mind before we get into the actual niche quiche here. So this is going to sound a little cheesy. So let me rephrase. But my mindset mimosa today is to be your own Valentine. Let me explain. Okay. Next slide.
Okay.
I'm
driving. Here we go.
I'm going to rephrase this. Okay. What I really mean by that is don't wait for permission. Don't wait for someone else's permission to start living your vibrant dream life. And I'm going to expand that a little bit. Okay. I don't believe you need anyone else to decide to make your life amazing. You have my permission to plan your own fabulous birthday. I take myself on a birthday date every year. It is the best day ever.
Really?
Yes, of course.
What does that look like?
Oh, I mean, whatever I want to do, right? I eat the best food. Do I want to go get a massage? One year I challenged myself to see a movie by myself. It was glorious.
Oh, I go to movies by myself all the time.
Yeah, well, that's because your friends always cancel.
Wow.
I went on purpose.
Okay, keep going. Keep going. You're doing great. You're doing great.
Okay. Yeah, so if you want to have, I'll take an example. I wanted to have a fabulous 30th birthday party. So I planned myself a fabulous birthday party. There's no reason you need to timidly worry, hint, oh, I hope someone does something for me. Just what do you want to do? Just do it. And then it happens. I had a bonfire with one of my best friends is in a band. Her band came and played. My improv team did an improv show for me. Like, it was the best night of my life. And I just asked if they'd do it. And then they did it. Like, it's great. You don't have to rely on anyone else to have the best birthday party you ever had. If you are a solopreneur and you want to throw your name in the hat for an award, just throw your name in the hat. You don't have to wait for someone to notice you or nominate you. Just nominate yourself. Just speak up. And chances are you might just get the award. But if you're waiting around hoping like, oh, it'd be nice to be nominated, you're never going to get a chance to win the award. Just throw your name in the hat. I have an example of when I worked at the ad agency, there was like a group of closer friends because I had just started, and they'd always go to lunch at Taco Tuesday. So I just went up to them one time and said, "Hey, could I come sometime?" And they're like, "Sure." And suddenly you're a part of Taco Tuesday. Like, but standing in the
yourself,
yeah, just invite yourself, nominate yourself, plan your own birthday party. You don't have to, wait in the corner sad hoping someone notices,
Now I'm not going to do that. Now that I'm just standing in the corner. I thought I was looking cooler than that.
My point is, if you want to go to lunch, invite yourself to lunch. If you want to have a shot at the award, nominate yourself. And if you want a Valentine, just be your own Valentine. Buy yourself flowers. Make a fabulous lunch for yourself.
Yeah.
Do it. What do you want? Just go do it.
Heck
you have my permission.
Oh, man. I want to run through a brick wall for myself.
Okay, good.
Ready to go. Good. That was really good.
I have one.
Keep going.
One more thing to add, and this is shout out to my friend Jen Fortner. She is really, really very intentional about friendships. And she heard a quote once that said, if you want to have the type of friend who would just stop by and bring you a coffee, like, gosh, I would love to have a friend like that. Go bring someone coffee. Period. Just go start the thing you want to have. Yeah. And it's beautiful. Take control. Play offense, not defense. If you want to have that kind of friend, go be that kind of friend.
That is so good. I do have friends like that, by the way. One of them's listening. Rachel, she's great at that. Rachel's really good at that. Sometimes she tells me she's going places and doesn't invite me. She's going to places, but most of the time she'll like give me $5 on Venmo to go get a cup of coffee. And I'm like, hey, it's actually $6.50 if you could.
Yeah, I wanted lavender milk.
Yeah, like when you needed that oat milk, Rachel. But most of the time she's great.
I know, a little stingy.
She gives me donuts when I'm sick. Yeah,
that's great. It is weird. Me and her all went to the movies together the other day. Were you not?
Oh. Uh-huh. Oh.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, I'll have to talk to her about that. Put that on my list. So this is actually going to bring us into our niche quiche, which is really, really good. And I'm really excited because when we decided on what today's topic was going to be about, I knew immediately what I was going to ask. And I've been thinking about it. This is like put it on my calendar for this. Been on here for about a year.
I don't think that's true.
And I'm really excited. Okay. So one of the things that I really admire about you, because I know you IRL and I know you remotely, virtually in this capacity, is that you have a system for systems almost. So
that's true.
We've talked a lot about self-care here recently, but I want you to talk to me a little about systems and how you systematized your self-care. Just talk about systems in general.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let me explain this graphic and then we can pull this graphic down and we can just talk with our faces because I don't have a lot of slides. Yeah, so this is taken from James Clear's Atomic Habits book. And I like this little visual here. I know it's super simple, but I think all of us, we're trained to make a goal. So the easiest one, to just use an example is like, I'd like to lose 10 pounds. The goal is I need to step on the scale and be 10 pounds lighter than I am today. Well, that's really only a one-time event that gets to happen. When you make a goal like that, you get to win one time, and that's the day you step on the scale. So what he encourages us to do is to create systems that just run. And as long as the system is running, you get to win every single day. So for example, my system for weight loss, really, or just health in general, longevity, I do weights 3 times a week and I intermittent fast. I skip breakfast and then I eat whole foods the rest of the day. And then on the weekends, I indulge. That is my system. Every single day that system is running, I win. And then I don't worry too much about the result. But wouldn't you know, like 6 months into the system running, you step on the scale and you go, oh, and by the way, it's 10 pounds lighter. Oh, and by
Right.
the way, the jeans fit better. But switching that mindset, you don't get so focused on the end, and you start to really fall in love with the process. And as long as the system is running, you're winning. And what's great is, like, you heard part of my system is indulging on the weekend. So if it's Saturday and I'm eating something delicious, I won that day too. If it's
Right.
Monday and it's weights day, I won that day too. So like, it's just really it's just barely a mind shift. But it's everything. And so I'm in love with systems. I know that sounds so nerdy, but I have a system for like everything. Everything.
Can you share with us a little bit of your systems in your
Sure.
life?
Okay, so I'm done with that graphic.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a system for health.
Hmm.
I have a system for friendships. Does that sound inorganic? Because it's really not. I know it sounds kind of
No,
sterile.
it does
Um,
sound sterile, but I think that anybody who doesn't know you, that would sound sterile. But if they were to meet you in real life, it would make complete sense, and there's nothing like
Sterile about
cold
it.
about you, yeah, or
Yeah.
anything like that. So tell us what that looks like.
And I have a system for deep play and self-care and all that too. Yeah, you wanna just take them one at a time?
Let's go. Yeah, let's do it one at a time.
Yeah, so I just mentioned my health system, and I think what's really great about that is it took me a long time to find the I'm a researcher, okay? Enneagram 7, I go to 5 in health, which is the systems. Um, it took me a while to figure out my own body and what workouts it would respond to, or the food types, that it thrives on. And so when I got diagnosed, this sounds really intense, but I had labs done and it came up that I have insulin resistance. So then I just dove into that and now I had a name for it. And I was able to actually reverse my insulin
Mm.
resistance through these systems. And the thing I love about my body pump class, it's set to music. It's like the most fun you could ever do. But my favorite part about it is there are 80-year-olds in the class. And I also I didn't want to just say, I want to lose weight to look better. I'm like, I want to be like a thriving 80-year-old. I want to be a thriving
Yeah.
70-year-old. I have 4 kids. Like, I want to have as much energy for my fourth when she's doing her high school sports than I do for my first. Like, I'm going to have to think through longevity here if I'm going to pull this off, because this is like a
Right.
long game. So I really started researching longevity and just the things you can do that make you have higher energy forever, and not just to cut weight for the the night you're going out in the cool dress or whatever. I want to
Yeah.
actually have something that's going to serve me long term. So yeah, by researching longevity, that's when I found out about intermittent fasting and whole foods, and then this weights class just gives me so much life, and that's actually improving my joints and my muscles and my brain. And yeah, I love everything about my health system. And so then just by running it over and over again, being very consistent, um, sure enough, my 2 best friends were like, "Well, hey, what day is that on?" And now they go. I mean, it is just the actual best. So the system itself also gives me joy. Like, it's not like a begrudging system I have to run. It's like a joy to run it.
Yeah, and I think there's a really good distinction here because I'm already hearing. We talked a little bit about Enneagram. You mentioned there are some Enneagram threes. I'm married to an Enneagram three, and all different types of people who actually like the goal. Like the goal is actually really important. What you're
Mhm.
saying is that the goal is a part of it,
Sure.
right? It needs to be your maybe your north star or however you want to the metaphor. Like you need to have a goal in place, whether maybe that is the 10 pounds or whatever longevity. It can be whatever you want, but the goal is not what you think about every day. The system is what it's going to get you there, and you have to fall in love with the process of everything.
And what's nice is I don't question the system anymore. It took me maybe a bit of tweaking to create the system,
Right.
but now it just runs. And so I think you said it was nice the other day. You were like, "Wow, this was an intensely stressful day. It was deadlines, it was launch or whatever." and you go, I'm so proud of you for still going to body pump. I think I would have bailed. And I was like, it didn't occur to me not to go to body pump because I'm just running the system. You know what I mean? Like I don't wake up and go, today do I run the system? No, it's just running, you know?
Wow. So you were judging me in that moment. I see it. I see now. I see it. I'm just joking.
No, I said thank
No,
you.
I'm just messing. So it's not you don't decide of.
I already decided. Past Katie decided 6 months ago.
Wow.
I don't have to decide ever again.
I feel like I'm listening to like David Goggins right now. So it's very impressive. Okay, so that's your health system.
Yes.
What other systems do you have in
So
your
I
life?
have a friendship system.
Okay, share with us about your friendship systems.
I am not someone who's very good at looking at the week and being like, what day can I fit whatever in? I should reach out. I should plan something. Oh, one of these days I should plan something. I'm bad at that, but I am great at having a recurring, I mean, it's technically a system,
Right.
a recurring meeting. So the second I can say, hey, I want to meet this new mom at school, because it's very hard to meet new mom friends when you're adult, by the way.
Yeah.
I tell her I take my kids to the coffee shop on Wednesdays. You want to join us sometime? I will always be there on a Wednesday. And sure enough, she joined our Wednesdays and we became very close and our kids became very close. And we didn't have to think about it ever again. Like what day would work for you? What day? I don't know. She has 4 kids. I have 4 kids. That would be very complicated to
Right.
every week try to decide, but I'll be there on Wednesdays. Join me or don't. It doesn't matter. I'm going to play Uno with my kids. You guys can join or whatever. So that's like an example of a tiny system. I'm in a girls group that meets bi-weekly and on a Tuesday night. And there are 15 of us in this group. And the format, it's like kind of a book club. The format of the group is we do our book discussion and then we do something called friendship updates. And even though it's just a few minutes, we get to hear, what was your last 2 weeks like? What are you celebrating? What are you struggling with?
Right.
Wouldn't you know, somehow, just every 2 weeks, getting those tiny snippets. I have 15 close friends that I am typically just up to date with. And they are my ride or dies. Like they are the ones that show up with the new baby food, or the meal train. They're the ones that let you know
Right.
I mean, it's getting real to the point where they're the ones at the funeral, like for whoever, and we lean on each other. And there's no world where I would have been able to schedule 15 coffee dates as often as I just go to this one place twice a month. The system runs, and the byproduct is this like rich, beautiful friendship. So I guess that's the part that I think I want to clarify isn't sterile. The scheduling is sterile.
Yeah, but the
But once
friendships
you
are
show
real
up,
and rich.
it's just warmth. Yeah, it's good. It's all, but the actual thing that's running, yes, that does sound a little bit crazy. And same with like, we have a Wednesday night date night. That probably sounds sterile. You guys are going to schedule in like the date night at home. Yeah, the scheduling is sterile. The date night isn't. You know what I mean? It's just like otherwise it's been 2 months and who are you? Like I haven't connected with you.
Right.
So yes, friendships can absolutely be a system. I know that
No,
sounds
what I
crazy.
love about that is that I don't think that we would necessarily think that you should systematize your friendships. I think maybe working out is probably something that everybody understands. Okay, yeah,
Right.
I need to, get a schedule in place or whatever. But friendships, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily think about that.
Yeah.
So I think it's really good. Okay, what else? What else you got for us?
I like that Sarah brought up decision fatigue.
Oh
And
gosh.
yes, 100%, 100%, because, and we've talked before on this show about the prefrontal cortex, and it's the part of your brain that's also in charge of willpower, and it does fatigue. It is not it's a renewable resource every morning,
Mhm.
but it only has, let's say, I have to picture like a video game bar. Like if you only have like 100 life, like every decision you make, it's getting smaller and smaller. So that's why we make bad choices when we're tired at the end of the day. But if you can limit the number of decisions, like you mentioned your wardrobe, like you simplified, like I
Got
only
it
wear
out.
these 10 things anyway. Why am I looking at 50? So save that prefrontal cortex. And so yes, my systems, I don't have to sit there and wonder when, how am I not? It's just running. Like and it frees up my prefrontal cortex to do cool stuff like deep play, which is my next tip.
Okay, what's that?
Okay. Um Same, Katie, with my gym friends. I'll be here on these days. If you can make it, no worries. I'll catch you next time. If you can, awesome. We meet when we can. Everyone has a heavy lifestyle. And honestly, this goes back to, thank you, Erica. This goes back to being your own Valentine. Like, that's so cheesy. But it's like, I'm gonna work out. I'm not working out because my two best friends are.
Right.
They joined me because I was so consistent. I'm gonna be at the coffee shop and I'm gonna have a great time alone. I mean, Chachi's gonna go to the movie by himself. You all are invited, but like, I don't need you there. And I know that sounds
So true. No, it's so true.
I know that sounds probably a little bit cold, but when you have become your own best friend, it's a good time. Like you don't really need anyone else there. I know exactly what I like. I'm going to have fun. And if you guys want to join, you totally are invited. But if you're not,
what is so sad is that I guess it's not sad, but it's just something that we do need to bring to the surface here is that it feels almost uncomfortable to speak about ourselves in that light, right?
Yeah.
Because we are so socialized to not think about ourselves in that way,
right?
To fall in love with ourselves in that way. And I mean, there's so much more that we could get into when it comes to self-love and all of those things. But to bring it back to entrepreneurship can be a really lonely place. And when you are dealing with really impactful decisions that maybe have a very small decision in the moment, we can go to some really big places that this is going to affect my lifestyle. This is going to affect my income, going to affect my family. And we can go to some really dark places if, we don't have a really healthy relationship with ourselves and with our internal world and our brains. And if we don't understand ourselves in that way.
Yeah.
So I think the big overarching theme here is that you really have to be a person that you're willing to fall in love with. Like you have to fall in love with yourself to be able to be really healthy in this life, whether entrepreneurship or just life in general.
And it's just, I know that's such like a weird phrase, but I kind of love it because it's Valentine's Day. but like, it's also, it's kind of irresistible to be around someone that is so comfortable with themselves, and people want to be around you more because you are so comfortable. I mean, like it's a bold move to say, I'm going to go see a movie by myself. If you guys can come or not, I will have a great time either way. But there's something like, I want to go hang out with that person, like it's like luring versus like, does anyone want to? I don't know. I don't know. There's a timidity that doesn't draw people in as much as someone who's boldly loves themselves.
There's also a vulnerability part of that too, right? Like you have to be willing to ask people to go with you and be okay when they don't go with you.
Right.
And usually that also brings in people that you are willing to be vulnerable to say, hey, do y'all want to get together and do this every Wednesday? Or,
right.
Rarely are people asking, to start something that is regular or whatever. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to be at this coffee shop every Wednesday. If you guys want to come every Wednesday, cool. If not, I'll have a grand old time by myself.
I really love Uno. Love Uno. Love my kids.
Yeah.
Uno by yourself is
so fun.
It's so fun.
So wildly fun.
Anonymous Facebook user, ironically, feels both seen and attacked.
Interesting.
And if you'd like to be actually seen, give StreamYard permission.
And actually attacked. I would love to do that too.
No, I am appreciating. I'm appreciating all of your guys' feedback. The comments are coming in, and I love it. And Rachel says, "How do you handle it when it comes to the system and you just aren't feeling it? Do you force yourself to continue the system?"
That's a really great question.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting, and I think that's partly an indicator that the system's off a little bit. But yeah, because like I said, it took me a long time to find the longevity. I'm calling it the longevity system, the health system, whatever. But like, hey, I think I'm going to do OMAD, which is 1 meal a day. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to eat more than once a day. That system was not working for me. You're tweaking it and whatnot. But also there are seasons where, when I was grieving my grandmother, I just didn't feel like going to girls group and I missed it several times. And then I also have, a couple really good friends that are like, hey, come anyway. It's going to be good, and call them back out. They called me back into the system because they know it's like where I will thrive, and it's okay to take a break from the system. It's okay to tweak the system, but ideally you want to get into the groove where it's like, this system is a delight. I love this system, that's the sweet spot.
Did you go back into deep play? I think we took a tangent.
Yes.
So go back into deep play.
Okay. So holler in the comments if you're familiar with the phrase deep work. And if you're not, it's the best. Essentially, there's a neurological kind of phenomenon called flow state, where you're not effortfully trying to work anymore. It's just flowing out of you. And a lot of times you see this with artists, like maybe they're playing an instrument and they're closing their eyes on stage and they're just in it. Like you've seen someone just be in it. Well, you can do that with work as well. And it's called deep work. And a lot of us have hacks for how to get into deep work. I think you have a couple hacks, possibly. I think we talked about it before. You have to be in a certain spot, or I have to, have this kind of get to work routine. I have to meditate right before. I have to make sure I'm white noise or silence, or whatever works for you to get into deep work. And often, we'll have to silence notifications and schedule it on our calendar. This is deep work time, because I know I have to attack something that's going to take like a lot of brain power. And I know it has to be first thing in the morning, but I'm blocking it on my calendar. Like I can't recommend enough blocking deep work on your calendar.
Right.
But one thing that I learned about that blew my mind is this concept of deep play. And going as far to block deep play also on your calendar. So hear me out, because this is going to sound so frivolous. And if you're a mom in the comments, you're going to think, how dare you? Like that is not acceptable in this season. But one of the things you have to do is also figure out, like, what does play mean to you? Like, what do I like? Like, there's an identity crisis that goes along with this, where it's like, if you've been serving like as a mom of young toddlers or whatever the case is, you're a teacher, you're whatever it is, you might have a moment in your day where you have 30 minutes to yourself and you don't know what you want to do. You can't think about it. And so what do most of us do?
Just go scroll the talk, scroll
Just
TikTok,
scroll,
Instagram.
And the argument there is there something you could have done with those 30 minutes that would have been more restorative, more deep play than just the scrolling? Because chances are, and I don't want to offend anyone, because maybe scrolling's the absolute best thing for your soul. It's not for mine. For me, it's like a non-memory. It's just kind of gone. It didn't bring me deep rest. It didn't bring me deep play. There's nothing I have to show for it at the end of it. But if you can sit and brain dump for a second, like and it's going to sound so crazy at first. Like, who am I? What do I like? Who am I now? Who am I at 37? Do I still like the same things? I used to think I liked, going to garage sales. Do I still like those? Check in with you, make a list. For me, the things that bring me deep, deep satisfaction in the play, obviously deep rest. I will take a nap all day, anytime. Yeah. That's honestly probably the best choice 90% of the time for me. Just shut it down. But deep play, the things I do that make me feel rich, like I'm tapping into my vibrant life, and I love creativity in general. So these probably are going to sound a little lofty, but I perform improv comedy. I have a system for that. There's a show once a month, and it's the first Friday, and it's always case. So I know I have that to rely on. That brings me such intense, deep joy, and it lasts almost a month. So it's perfect. It's a perfect system. Then I start to get antsy, and I'm like, there's another one. This is great. I like to create things. I like to craft or paint. I have been doing paintings lately. I have been writing novels lately. I've gotten back into photography, like actual big camera photography, not just my iPhone, although iPhone photography I think is also really, fulfilling. There was a time in my life that I joined a volleyball league. And again, that's its own system, because practice is on the same night, and that was fun, because I got to get in touch with something that meant a lot to me in high school, but then dust it off and you're with, kind of your peers, and you're like, hey, we still know how to, okay, all right, this is cool, kind of, in health and all that stuff. So those are just some of my examples of deep play. Going on a walk in a nature center, like that is more restorative to me than scrolling on TikTok. Right. But maybe I go on a walk, which is health, and I take a picture while I'm there, which is beauty, and I share it with an intentional friend, and then I write a novel about, come on, like the possibilities are endless. But scrolling during that time, just doesn't bring me the same amount of joy. So wouldn't it be crazy if before we even started our day, we plotted on our day when we're going to take that deep play and we get ahead of it instead of it happening upon us, not knowing what to do with it and we squander it, treating it like an appointment with yourself that this is going to happen at some point today. And maybe an hour is too much, or maybe it needs to be 4 segments of 15 minutes or whatever makes sense to you. But scheduling in, this is when it's going to happen. Because my argument is, and this is a bold statement, your body is going to take it anyway.
Right.
If you're not ahead of it and you're planning for it, at some point during your day, you're going to go, I cannot focus another second. I don't, and then you scroll and it's gone. It's gone.
Yep.
But if you can get ahead of it, and maybe it is the carrot at the end of your workday. Maybe you pick up your kids at 3:30, so you factor it in for 3, and then the entire day is a game of like, how fast can I get through my tasks? Because I cannot wait for deep play. I got done at 2:30. I get a whole hour. Like, that's more exciting than acting like an hour is way too frivolous. Deep play is way too frivolous. I'm not putting it on my calendar. I'm a martyr, and then it's gone.
Yeah, don't be a martyr. Don't be a martyr.
Don't be a martyr, Marty.
Oh, okay. Marty the martyr.
Don't be a Marty the martyr.
Okay. Okay. So give us some practical, maybe some practical examples of how we can systematize self-care as an entrepreneur.
As an entrepreneur, yes. So definitely schedule in deep play. I think you could, if it were me, because I love consistency. Again, can it always be from 3 to 3:30 every single day, and it becomes the back of your mind? Make yourself the cheat sheet list so that you don't have an identity crisis every single day. Start small, doesn't have to be overwhelming, but definitely schedule that in. Do you want to work at a fancy coffee shop one day a week, the one with all the windows that makes you feel like, oh, it might be winter, but maybe I don't have seasonal affective disorder for this hour? Can you pair it with a work task you hate? Like I hate doing admin, so I go to the most beautiful coffee shop on the day that I do admin. There's ways to factor it in to your entrepreneurship as well. And don't forget, you get to leave your house. You built your own job. You can go anywhere you want. You can work whatever hours you want. Just take it back. The other thing is I really think it's important to celebrate your wins, because especially if you're a solopreneur, get in our communities. We love supporting you guys. It's not weird to us. If you could say numbers, you can say, I just hit 5K this month for the first time. And we're going to go, yes, like I
just got my first client.
Yes.
Or I just booked my first discovery call.
All of it.
I just put my mock portfolio together. Like
any of it, every tiny win, big win. But we want to hear your wins, and we will absolutely come in beside you and celebrate with you. It is not weird to us to hear you flex. Like, we want to see you flex. So celebrate your wins, and then pick your reward. Like if you worked for a company, they'd have a budget for rewards, or team, or if they're a fun company, if they're a cool company, there's a budget for like morale. So factor that into your own thing. Do you want a new iPad? Are you like, you got your eye on some type of prize? Like maybe after you get that final contract or whatever, you allow yourself to book the 24 hours away at the cool, trendy boutique hotel, or, that new outfit that that upgraded piece in your wardrobe you want, or a new piece of tech, or even like, I'm going to go pro on Dubsado or whatever, I'm going to reward myself with an entrepreneur gift. But pick your reward and make it good, because, no one else is working with you. No one else is going to do it for you. Be your own Valentine.
Yes. Feels so good in my heart. Yeah, I think all of us just need to hear a message of that you're worth the time and the energy and the investment into yourself and into your business, and you really need to celebrate yourself. I love that. Erica said something I thought was really good: commitment to time blocking and following through as much as you can to develop into a good habit. So it's almost like we have to develop the muscle as the skill of creating systems. If you're anything like me, systems don't necessarily come easy, and you have to practice developing systems and tweaking and not putting too much pressure on yourself that you do want to follow through, but also recognizing that as an indicator of that maybe something is not working if you're not able to follow through. So it's a balancing act for sure, but I like the idea.
It's a muscle. That's such a good way to put it. It's a muscle. You want to know the very first system that changed my life? It's so simple.
Yeah, let's hear it.
It's so simple. It's so simple. You're not going to believe this, but I used to not be extremely tidy. So I just didn't care. I don't, because someone could walk in right now and just start destroying my house and pulling all the books off the shelf, and I'd be like, "What are we doing?" I don't know. It wouldn't hurt my feelings. But I want to be someone who is tidy. I want to have a tidy home. So the first system I ever made was I run the dishwasher every single night and I unload the dishwasher every single morning. And that changed the way that I take care of my whole kitchen. But while creating the system, while stretching that muscle, I was like, I will not miss, like, because I'm building it in right now. I'm not going to miss. Like, I basically made a sticker chart in my own mind that was like,
Yeah.
will not miss a day until this becomes automatic. And now it is so automatic. It's like I almost have like dish amnesia. I don't even remember doing it. It's just all my dishes are always done. Oh, Alicia does the same thing with the dishwasher, and she is one of the best people I know. So there you have it, friends. But that is the first, system in place that I was just like, this is like writing with my left hand. It is not organic. It is not natural, but I want the thing on the other side of it.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to force it until it's auto. And it is.
I'm going to start small. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
She's having like not did it.
I'm like, oh man. Yeah, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Check in with me next week. Let's see next brunch club. Let's see
brunch club. This will be the follow-up session. What if you're like, like your hair's out of mess? You're like,
I didn't nail it, Katie. I didn't nail it.
I lost control. I don't know what happened. I don't know. The system's failed. Yeah, that's hilarious. You're suddenly like homeless. I don't know.
We'll see. Really yeah, because that'd be hilarious if I was homeless.
It would be.
All right. We'd love to have any questions. We're gonna go. We have about 15 minutes left or so. So we're gonna go into the rest of our presentation here. We're gonna do what the tech, and then we're gonna play a game here at the very end. But keep your questions coming if you have any questions for Katie or me. I'll ruin your life if you need me to, but for the most part.
Well, don't forget the end of it is the ultimate rom-com test where I'm putting Chachi on the spot. So you got to stay till the end because we got to see how much he knows of rom-coms.
Interesting.
Okay.
I do enjoy a good rom-com. Okay, so
you probably do.
I do. I love rom-coms. Okay. There is we're talking about systematizing, obviously, or systematizing. It's very important for you to systematize your client communication, and there's so many tools that you can do that. You can do that within Dubsado, you can do that within Honeybook using their workflow systems. And what I mean by this is if somebody doesn't open a contract, you need to have follow-up reminders to open that contract or pay that invoice or whatever that may be, or a follow-up if somebody filled out your brochure, your intake form, and they haven't responded to you there. It's such a mental load. It's very fatiguing for you to have to try to keep up with, like, oh, I sent that like a week and a half ago. Is 7 days enough? Is 8 days enough? Or I'll do it tomorrow. That's so hard to do, especially when you start getting in those leads that are in the double digits, on a monthly basis. So try to systematize that client communication as much as possible, and have 7 to 10 days, whatever that may be, systematize the exact from somebody opens this, if somebody doesn't open this, and you can do that in those tools. Gmail, I use Gmail a lot. I don't have any clients currently, but there was a moment there when I was coaching my son's 2 teams at the same time. There was an overlap, and so for reminders, and one of the leagues was just coming up. So on a Sunday night, I schedule all of my emails to go out throughout the day. Yeah. So when I was in Missouri, there was an email that went out to all of my players' parents, but I did that like a week beforehand.
You systematized coaching?
Systematized coaching, friends. Wow. You can coach as many teams as you want to. No, just joking. It probably doesn't work that way. But when it comes to your client communication, don't rely on yourself to be perfect and potentially miss a big client, miss a contract date, have things go get backlogged, things like that. Systematize that communication as much as possible. Dubsado was great for this. Dubsado does a fantastic job of like having so many different triggers. Honeybook doesn't have that many triggers, so it's not as great of a workflow action, but it does have it. And then of course Gmail is just, you can schedule. So Dubsado is great for that if you need to do that. So that's my tech tip for the day. I would love to have any questions for me.
I
Willing
love
to
that
take
you
those.
tied in systems. I see what you did.
See what I did there? It's all about systematizing. So many things you can systematize. I just love also saying systematize. It's such a
I
cool
know
word.
you're a real systematic Steven.
Systematic Steven. Don't be a Marty the martyr. Be a
Don't be a Marty.
Steven the systematizer.
They're
See where
both
we're
so
going.
catchy.
They are. That's it.
They rolled right off the tongue.
You can just say it 3 times quick. All right. So tell us about this game. What game are you
Oh, you
throwing
mean
here?
the ultimate rom-com quiz
The
where Chachi
ultimate.
Diaz is going to be on the hot seat, hot seat,
Okay.
hot seat, hot seat, hot seat, hot seat.
Is that an
Let's
echo?
see. Yeah, that was an echo.
Okay.
Let's see how well you know rom-coms.
Okay.
I weirdly think you might ace this.
Let's see.
If you guys believe in Chachi, write in the comments, I believe in you, Chachi.
If you don't believe in me,
him, say boo.
you're dumb.
You're so dumb.
Insult me
Okay.
on Valentine's Day. Okay.
I'm going to do this in voiceover Katie mode. Okay. Next slide.
Okay. Here we go.
What is rom-com short for? Is it Roman Commander, romantic comedy, or read-only memory communication?
Oh my God. Roman Commander would be so cool, but I think it's romantic comedy. I think
What if you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I've been watching a lot of Roman Commander movies.
Weird.
What's this one about?
I thought that's what we were going to do.
I thought all the answers were Gladiator.
Look, so many people believe in me. I appreciate that, friends. Thank you so much.
There you. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay. By the way, I did terrible colors on purpose just for my own amusement.
Jeez.
Okay. This one I'm really proud of. What do you call the contrived and unlikely meeting between potential love interests in a romantic comedy? Is it the awk-gawk, the meet-cute, or the love shove?
Oh, geez.
If you guys know in the comments, you can play along.
It's just like a thing.
Maybe... it's a thing. I didn't know you were going to hesitate.
I didn't know that this was a thing. Is it the love shove?
It's not the love shove.
What is it?
That is hilarious.
I've never heard about this.
The love shove. This is a trope. This is like a technical movie term. Do you guys know? Put it in the comments.
I've never heard about this ever.
You were today years old.
So what is it? The meet cute?
It is in fact the meet cute.
The meet cute. Interesting.
That is hilarious. Yes, Dana gets it. Tiffany gets it. All right. Well, you're 1-1. All
right. Okay.
Anyone still not like? Does anyone no longer believe in him? Let me know in the comments. Okay. Chachi Diaz.
In the notebook.
In the notebook. Complete this sentence. If you're a bird.
I'm a bird.
Yes!
Oh, nice. Yes! Nailed it.
Oh, did you just do it with context clues?
No, that's just what I would say. If you're a bird, I'm a bird.
You're just being romantic.
I'm just being romantic, friends. That's all I'm doing.
You're like, I basically could write this movie sight unseen.
Yeah. Is that what? So I got it right?
You got it. If you're a bird, I'm a bird.
Yeah. Nice.
Yep. Beautiful.
Basically, Ryan Gosling.
You basically, I honestly,
you look exactly like him.
When you first joined on Zoom, I was like, oh my gosh, is that Ryan Gosling? I cannot tell you apart.
Work. Yeah. Yeah. On the side.
I didn't know he was going to be on our team.
Kind of tough. Yeah.
Next.
Okay.
In How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, what present does Andy give to Ben? Now that's Kate Hudson's character gives to Matthew McConaughey. In this movie, she's trying to, scare him off. It's a weird gift.
What present does Andy give to Ben? I don't remember. I'm just going to say the first thing that comes to mind, a gun. Was it a gun?
No, that's so funny. Okay. No, it's not a gun. She says there's a quote where she just goes, I gave you the blank and you let it die.
Oh, is it a plant?
It's a plant. And she calls it. Huh?
Is it a puppy?
Well, that too, but the plant. Yes.
Oh.
And we called it, man, Tiffany's winning. The love fern. I gave you a love fern and you let it die.
Oh, no, I didn't remember that at all.
Okay. All right. Better than a love child. You don't want to let the love child die. It's got much more legal results, ramifications.
Oh.
Okay. In A Walk to Remember.
This movie, man. That's so sad.
What 2 does Landon give Jamie? Now that is, I don't remember his actor's name, but Mandy Moore is Jamie.
Oh,
All right, on her shoulder. It's real cute. She's like,
is it a butterfly?
yes!
Yes.
I would have loved for you to say, is it a gun?
A gun? Landon's character, it was Shane.
Yes, Shane something. West?
Shane West.
Okay.
Yes, Shane West. That is what his character was.
I love it.
Wow, this is
You're doing great. Is anyone keeping score?
I think I got 2. I've gotten 2.
All I know is that Tiffany Wild West is winning. Okay, and this quiz will not be complete until you can tell us which romantic comedy character said, "You complete me," or what movie is it from?
You complete me.
Well, actually, it's the same answer either way.
You complete.
You complete me.
Is it Jerry Maguire?
Yes.
Yes. Nailed it.
Done. You
Nailed
guys.
it.
Big plot twist. Big plot twist. That Tiffany Wild West did. Rachel, a little inside joke. Shane West, isn't that the same dude from Napoleon Dynamite?
Okay, so here's the backstory about that. She thought that the same actor that played Elvis was also the same actor who played Napoleon Dynamite, and she was dead set. I've never seen her.
I've never seen anyone double down as much as she was convinced.
It's the same guy.
Yeah.
And Rachel, it is not the same guy. It's the same guy. She did not back down. Was it the same guy?
Not the same guy.
No.
Not the same guy.
No, it was not.
Okay, so we got a couple questions coming in. By the way, before we say bye, thanks a latte. This same time, 1 week from now, Rachel herself, the one who is face blind but is good at other stuff, she will be doing she'll begin your Quit Your Day Job series, where she's bringing on VAs who have replaced their income and how they got there, and we get to pick their brains. They're all going to be genius. If you want to be featured on that series, write in, because we are looking for our VAs, our big VA celebrities. We want to feature you. We cannot wait to celebrate you guys here live.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yep. Okay, so a couple questions coming in.
Okay.
How do we balance self-care and our type in relation to being a VA? Our type? Like Enneagram type?
I don't know if she's talking about the Enneagram type or if she's talking about the VA personality type.
You know what I did say the other day? Let me see if I can pull it up fast enough. Do you guys know what love languages are? What's your love language stacking?
Love language stacking at the
explain what they are in general.
Okay, so there is physical touch, but this is about the way that you receive love. It's a very nuanced discussion, so if you don't subscribe to the 5, that's okay. But physical touch, quality time, gift giving, acts of service, and I always forget the 5th one. What's the 5th one?
Words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation.
Yes, that's right.
Affirmation.
Yeah. So when we were brainstorming how to discuss some of this, okay. So she's the helper. Her personality type is the helper. Man, I think, yes, let's dive in, because I'm pretty sure she's probably someone who gives a lot and needs self-care, because that is truly the helper result, is like you just give and give and give. It's like you're wired to just give to others. Absolutely. You need to make sure you take time and replenish yourself. So one of the concepts we threw it around, which obviously we didn't do, but here we are doing it now. Does your love language translate to yourself? Maybe it does, So if yours is gifts, you tend to like give other people gifts and you're a great gift giver. Do pick the reward that you want to give yourself. And maybe it is a physical item, like an item that you've been wanting. And, I think Emily McCall is very good, or Emily Jeffries now. She got married. Congratulations. She's always very good at like very personalized and, gifts.
She's great at that.
Yeah. Gifts that have her kids' names on it or whatever, things that like would be great to get from someone else. But again, we're going to be our own Valentine. So like if you want the beautiful necklace that says your kids' names or something that would be really meaningful to you, put that as your self-care if gifts is something that's important to you. Quality time. That's one of my big ones, because I like to have fun. Maybe you plan a trip by yourself, or like take yourself on the perfect day, you know, where you have your favorite lunch spot, or then you go to the art museum by yourself because, or, you know, you can invite a friend. You don't have to be
Yeah.
alone for these things, but you plan it. You plan your ideal day, kind of like what I talk about with your birthday. Physical touch. Literally, you could go book a massage. It would probably be
For
great.
sure.
It would be
Yeah,
great.
for sure.
Do you get massages, Chachi?
I love massages. Yeah,
Really?
I love massages.
I didn't
For
know.
sure.
Guys, let us know if you are pro or anti massage in the comments. I did mention on my podcast the massage story that went wrong. So I'm just going to cross promote that now. It's our most recent episode
That's
on
hilarious.
Shaylee and Katie's lemonade stand. Okay, acts of service. So if you're somebody, and maybe this is Tiffany, if she's the helper, possibly, if you're someone who's always taking care of someone else, or you really appreciate like a tidy home, and if your spouse or your partner or your roommate were to like, I cleaned the whole house before you got home, and that feels really loving to you, maybe you can gift that to yourself. You can hire a deep clean. They do those. They can, you know,
For
you
sure.
can hire a cleaning service, just come in and do it all. Something you don't have to do. It's done for you, but you were the one who initiated it, because we're being our own Valentine. Words of affirmation, Chachi. You want to take this one? Because you heard a tip. I don't know if you've done it.
I haven't done it yet. So words of affirmation, if there is a moment in your life where you are seeking validation or some affirmation, something that you did, my therapist recommended, write yourself a letter.
Write yourself a cool letter.
I have not done it yet, but I could see how that could be powerful, because we've done some things like write a letter to your past self, you know, that maybe, you know, or things like that. And when you write a letter to your past self and, you know, childhood, it becomes very deeply emotional. So I could also see that there could be power in writing yourself some validating words and letters of affirmation and things like that.
Yeah, or even maybe that is the post in our community. Like you're, instead of saying like, I wish my business partner would post how I did that cool thing with those analytics, just say, hey, I did this cool thing with these analytics. And then we're going to swoop right in and give you lots of words of affirmation.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're also big fans of the Enneagram. You don't have to necessarily subscribe to the entire ethos of the Enneagram, but it really is a roadmap for self-love, of becoming awake to things that maybe you're asleep to. And so some great resources. The Road Back to You is a great beginner book for the Enneagram to just
Michael Cron.
help you find your number and start the road back to you. Interesting how that works.
Yeah. Just become a road back to you, Rhonda.
What?
Just become a...
Oh, I see what we're doing. And on that note, friends, if there's not any other questions, I think we're going to leave you with that. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for the past hour. I hope that it was life-giving to you. Katie, any words of wisdom? You just lit up our world for the past hour.
Oh,
you want to leave us with any
thanks.
parting wisdom?
Yeah, today it's only 1 p.m. and I think Valentine's Day can be loaded for a lot of people. I think it can be a day of unmet expectations, and it's not too late. Just turn it around and give yourself the best day that you could possibly want. It's up to you.
Nice.
You have my permission. Treat
But
yourself
we don't
today.
need it.
You don't need it, but you have it.
Thank you, friends.
Thank you, friends.
We always do completely silent. Thank you, friends, for spending the last hour with us. We will be here in, I don't know, 3 weeks again, right? Or 4 weeks. 4 weeks.
Every second Tuesday. Don't miss Rachel's next week. And if you take anything away from this today, don't be Marty the Martyr. Be System Steven.
Nailed it. Bye. Thanks a lot, friends. See you in a couple of weeks. Bye. I should end it.